Good evening, friends. Stephen Benoon here with Israeli News Live. Very serious situation going on over in the Middle East there, and the possibility of war looming between Iran, Israel, the United States, other countries there in the Middle East is growing more and more day by day. Very, very real. We're going to be looking here in just a moment here. IDF spokesman Brigadier General Hadai Zilberman and what he had to say about this. But before I do, let me also show you here on Yahoo News. Trump is threatening Iran. Biden says the Pentagon is stonewalling him on many things with less than a month until his inauguration. Well, I hate to tell you, Mr. Biden, but I don't think you're going to be part of that inauguration. But anyway, President Donald Trump is leaving, the White House article says, in less than a month, but you wouldn't know it from his behavior. Beyond refusing to concede to President-elect Joe Biden, the president has continued to threaten Iran with military action, and his administration has reportedly discussed potential responses to recent rocket attacks on the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad, thought to have been carried out by Iranian-backed militias. Meanwhile, Biden has said he's been stonewalled by the Pentagon and hasn't been thoroughly briefed on several crucial issues. You know, I don't have it up here, and I haven't actually spoke about it yet, the Nashville bombing that took place there. I know there's been quite a few friends that have sent me videos there showing what appears to be a missile coming in, and that this may very well have been a staged event. That's one reason why I haven't weighed in on this as of yet. But don't forget, this is also what's supposed to happen in the Middle East there, a false flag event, something that I was told that was contacted by the Trump admin people, the Trump administration people. And I know that when we look at this issue, especially when we were talking the other day about a coup going on in and around President Trump with his own people there, his own advisor, his own inner circle, you might say, can't help but wonder, does he even know what's going on? Is he just going to go out and kick off a war just to do it? Well, I just can't help but think about the fact of those that are around him that are trying to derail him and get him to concede the election. They're also the same people that would be pushing for Israel to get a war going with Iran. Not to mention, I'm sure Iran kind of helps a little bit as well, especially President Rouhani, who I was told is the head of the Freemasonry inside of Iran. But there's some very interesting information coming out of the article from the Jerusalem Post. It says Israel is monitoring Tehran's movement in the region and expects that an Iranian attack could come from Iraq and Yemen. IDF spokesman Brigadier General Hadai Zilberman told the Saudi news website Ilaf. Well, this is something that we've been told as well, that could actually be the case. But it wouldn't be because Iran initiates an attack. As we have been told, there would be a false flag event that would give the United States and Israel a green light to start that campaign. But I do believe, though, that we can rest assured that Iran is also prepared in their own retaliation response if this were to take place. As you go on down in the article, and I actually had several things highlighted here, but I can see that my highlights have all been removed already. Kind of hate that, but this program doesn't always work exactly right. But the Brigadier General was asked about the submarines that went through the Suez Canal, and he would not decline, or he declined to answer in the affirmative or the negative about those submarines, but he did say that Israel has multiple submarines in moving throughout the region there. And of course, we had mentioned to you the other day how the U.S. has also moved its own attack submarines into that region. So I can certainly see, especially with light of the fact that I think it's the 3rd of January will be the anniversary of the death of General Soleimani, that we will probably more than likely see some type of either retaliatory incident with that of Iran or an all-out war there or thereafter. But there's also another thing here that I was trying to find here that I had highlighted earlier, but I don't see it right now. Let's see here. Any calculations known to us today could change for any unknown reason, Zilberman told Ilaf. And now they cause me to lose my place as well. It's just lovely how this article stuff always changes around. But there was one important piece here I wanted to bring out to your attention. and what it is they're talking about the technology of Iran, and it's not the hacker part. Let's see. Innovation is thinking about the future. On Monday, the IDF Staff Lieutenant General Aviv addressed the Iranian threat during a ceremony for exemplary soldiers, saying that Iran will pay a heavy price if any Israeli is targeted. We are hearing more and more threats against Israel coming from Iran, he said. If Iran and its partners attack the state of Israel, they will pay a heavy price. I am simply simplifying things and describing the situation of our enemies, and it is, he added, our retaliation plans are prepared and they have been practiced. Oh yeah, they definitely have. But what I'm looking for that's actually in this article is something we've reported on in the past as well to you guys, and that is they admit in here that Iran has the ability to shoot their missiles undetected. And let me just see if I can find that for you, because I thought that was very interesting that the Israelis are admitting that the Iranians have that ability. And let me just see here if we can find that again, because that was a very important information. Here we go, right here. It's right here. So we'll re-highlight this. He noted that Iran has developed a wide range of capabilities in the area, and specifically in Iraq and Yemen, that include advanced drones, remote-guided missiles, which they manage to operate without detection, indicating a great Iranian ability in this area. This was something I had been told, that Iran had technology that we were unable to mitigate. We saw this. I did a report a little while back when Iran retaliated against the United States and sent in their own missiles after the killing of Soleimani. And when they did, it hit, I think it's either inside or near the green zone there. And of course, later we had reports coming out that many American soldiers ended up with tremendous injuries as a result. And we could not stop any of those missiles that were coming in. So I've been told it's some type of a plasma technology that's on the tip of those missiles that they're using. And we also saw this, as we reported originally as well, that when the Saudis were using the Patriot battery down in Saudi Arabia, when they were using these missiles with the Yemenite Houthi rebels, they also were able to send those missiles in totally undetected. So Israel is very correct when they say that both in Iraq and in Yemen, these missiles could actually come. I don't really expect it to come out of Syria, although it could come out of Lebanon as well. But I can only imagine, though, this will give Israel and the United States, they will take this opportunity, which would be, no doubt, in my estimation, a biblical fulfillment of, let me just see if I can pull this up for you there. And that would be in Daniel, where they come over. They will actually come over Israel, the king of the north, king of the south. It's a very unusual prophecy, but I have always found this very interesting there. And I will pull that up for you real quick just so you can see this. So Daniel chapter 11, and I think it's around verse 40 is where we find this at. Here it is right here, yes. At the time of the end shall the king of the south, and it says here in English, push at him. It doesn't say push at him at all. Right there in Hebrew, it plainly says with him. Itanagach imo melech hanegiv. Okay, so the king of the south pushes with him. See, and he's with who? With the king of the north. And it says, and the king of the north shall, doesn't say come against him, but it literally says it will come, the king of the north will go, Aliav melech hatzifon berechev. See, the king of the north goes over him. Aliav, right there. Very first part. Aliav. He goes over him, right? And he goes with what? His chariots, right? He's going to go over there with his chariots, his horsemen. And what does he do? With many ships, and he shall enter into the country. Bautzot, right there. Bautzot. So it's a war against many countries. This has nothing to do with the king of the north coming against the king of the south, as if it were to be Russia or Turkey or somebody like that coming to attack Israel. No, This is the king of the south working with the king of the north, and they come against those nations that are in the Middle East there. So we're about to see prophecy unfold right before our eyes. I'm Steve Benoon. Just that quick update for you there. We thank you. Thank you for listening. And hopefully myself and Yana, before we head out, will be able to share some interesting information with you. We're going to be sharing some facts that are going on with this, well, you know what I'm talking about, the little, stuff goes in your arm there. I'm going to show you some of the things that are happening to people that are taking that. Very, very bad situation. Thanks for watching.